Want to just quickly ask you about your stint with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. We had a long show after his passing about his legacy, and I mean, it was a mixed legacy, of course. As is tradition, when someone passes, especially someone as apparently benign and soft-spoken as Mr. Manmohan Singh, but there were a few pieces, like one in, I think, the Telegraph, which spoke about not all was great in his time, which spoke about the cases that were filed against the Red Terror and against the protesters in the South.
Hudan Gulam.
Yes. But you had a 4-year stint with him at a very important stage, especially the nuclear deal. In your assessment, a lot has emerged of how he was underrated in certain ways, like he was an underrated politician, because he was a good, politician. But you think his what is, according to you, his legacy as prime minister? The nature of his, demeanor, being soft-spoken, relatively peaceful, his overemphasis on, economic growth, even at the cost of, in my view, a very destructive policy like the SEZs, which was basically land grabbing by rich industrialists who continue to be as pampered under Mr. Modi. I think those industrialists will be pampered no matter who's in power. His economic miracle, so to speak, of 1991, or this nuclear deal. I don't know how important it was, but what for you should he be remembered most for?
Well, I've stayed away from saying anything after he passed away because whatever I have to say, I've said in my book, which I have always held will be the best tribute to the man. I still believe that it's the strongest defense of his first term in office. The only comment I have made repeatedly and even recently is that I think the only reason why there was a change in the public memory as compared to the first term, don't forget the first term ended with the entire media saying Singh is king. And this was not gaudy media. And this was, the NDTV, the CNN, IBN, Times Now, everybody, if you go back and look at those visuals of July 2008 or early 2009, Singh was king. And Singh was king because he was seen as having achieved something. So at that time, my advice to him was, sir, you should now contest for the Lok Sabha. You came through the Rajya Sabha. You are seen as a nominated prime minister, which is why I accidental prime minister. But now you have won the confidence of the Indian people. Every opinion poll, go back and look at India Today of that time, Outlook of that time, all the opinion polls showed that, his public standing was very, very high, which is why in the election of 2009, the Congress got 60 more seats.
Yeah.
60 more seats. Came back with 206 seats in parliament. And so I said, you go to Amritsar and contest from there and come to the Lok Sabha and assert your prime ministership. He didn't take my advice, which is why I kept quiet after that. And I think a lot of the damage of the second term, particularly the way in which the media dealt with him, which finally ended up with his saying that, history will be kind to me. Unfortunately, media was not kind to him at that time. Was because of this shift, where, in politics, people do respect a person who asserts his power.
Right.
From the level of the village sarpanch to that of the prime minister of the country. People respect you if you have acquired power, that you assert power. If you have acquired power and not asserted that power, the respect diminishes. Then you will be remembered as a good man, which is how he will be remembered. And I'm glad to see such wholesome tribute to his individual personality.